So if you guys watch my channel, you probably go to school or have gone to school. Like, that's basically everyone, because education is mandatory in most places around the world now. And you probably are like, school kind of sucked. And if you believe school kind of sucked, you're not alone. I thought it kind of sucked too. I've asked my friends, they all said it kind of sucked. And a lot of people in my Discord and Twitter all say it's terrible too. And there's a few that say it's good, but the vast majority of people say, you know, there can definitely be improvements at the very least. So I'm making this video mainly just to talk about my own experiences with school and, you know, what I think can actually be done better. So where should I even start? Let's start, you know, just chronologically, how, you know, my view of school has changed throughout my life. Okay, so back in elementary school, you know, I was always like told, you get good grades at school, then you apply to a good college. Once you get into the good college, you know, study hard there, get internships, get a good job, and that's how you become successful, right? As like, you know, an average 9 or 10-year-old, they would probably be like, hey, that sounds like a pretty good idea. And probably even like most middle school and high school people too. You know, it's like, I probably should work hard now so I can get a good job later. So yeah, for like the longest period of, like in my life, I was like, you know, I should probably focus solely on school. So I didn't really do much outside of school for like, you know, until I was, what, like 13, 14 years old. And in that period of time, I was like super heavily, you know, I kind of want to be at school. At home it was kind of bad, but that might have been some other cases. But I kind of liked being at school because it gave me a lot of freedom. I could, you know, well, relative to home at least. And I'd have like some time in the class to just, you know, go on the computer, maybe like goof around cool math games every now and then. Because I had no idea of like anything different or better like outside of school. Because like my life at home was ridiculously strict at that time. But yeah, basically around like middle school, high school, that's when I realized there was definitely more to school. Like people were like doing social stuff, you know, doing clubs, activities, computer science, whatever outside of school. And I was like, you know, I probably should do something outside of school because I basically was so bored. Like I wasn't allowed to do anything outside of school. Like it was just follow what you do at school. That's basically how you get to success. So I got really bored this one summer and made a YouTube videos and got to here basically, long story short. And you know, that kind of changed my view on school as a whole. Rather than waiting till who knows when to learn how to edit video, learn how to make content, just all this stuff at school, I was like, you know, I might as well just do something on the side and see where it takes me. And it definitely ended up very well, right? Because otherwise I wouldn't be here making this video right now. So with that out of the way, it got me thinking. At school, I was ridiculously, you know, just bored. Like, now that I think about it. Because as someone who was one of the higher achieving, like, gifted students, I was part of the gifted program at my school, and I got, like, you know, A's. It felt really boring. And I'm pretty sure a lot of people getting all A's would kind of agree that school, especially for people that get all A's, is ridiculously boring, not fun, repetitive, and you just feel like you're wasting time, to say the least. And it's just even worse when teachers don't let you do anything else while you're waiting for other people to finish up their, you know, test or stuff like that. So I get, like, you know, the whole academic integrity stuff, but at a certain point, it's just like, at least like with YouTube and stuff, what I'm doing right now, I can't say the same for all jobs. But for me, if I ever want to learn something new on how to edit like a video differently, like I want to do a different effect, I go on Google, I type in how to do blah 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 inside of Adobe Premiere. And I'm free to use the internet as I wish. That is, you know, the most accurate real world description I could say. Because there is no one guarding you from using the internet or preventing you or anything. Like, as a YouTube creator, I can just go on the internet whenever. I don't have a boss, basically. Like, I can just do whatever the heck I want. And I'm sure for like most like software developers as well, I've heard from a lot of them. You know, I've seen my parents, you know, do their stuff because they work from home, and you know, they go on the internet, they sort of like how to do whatever stuff inside of this programming language, and they're free to do that on Google. And it's kind of expected for them to, you know, self-solve the problems. Like go on Google, look at Stack Exchange and whatever stuff. But school, on the other hand, is like, oh, no, that is illegal. If you do it, you are considered a cheater, a filthy loser of some sort. And you'll get sent to the principal's office for a review on academic dishonesty policy or whatever. Which is kind of counterintuitive when, like I said, most jobs expect you to use the internet, use all the resources available to you. It almost reminds me of this, like, a few articles I've read talking about how school basically hasn't changed since, you know, we wanted a way to teach society so that they can become good factory workers in the Industrial Revolution. And this is almost 100% accurate. In most, like, you know, engineering jobs, because, you know, I'm very passionate in engineering, computer science, stuff like that. It is expected for you to actually, you know, explore and learn new things on the job. Like, learning doesn't stop in school. Learning continues when you're on the job. Like, I learn new things making YouTube videos every single day. And I've probably learned a lot more making YouTube videos than being at school. More practical, more, you know, stuff that would actually yield me returns. Why do we even, like, you know, restrict kids at school to, like, not use their resources? Because at least in college, some classes are open book. I like those classes because they're more representative of, like, real world stuff. But you go into, like, a, you know, a science class or a math class and you're like, you're not allowed to use any of these formulas. Well, guess what? If an engineer does not know how to solve some funny equation, you bet they're going on Google searching out what the equation is and how to use it. And they're gonna use some, like, Desmos or whatever calculator on the computer. Maybe something more fancy than that, but you get the point. Like, in this new age where basically every job relies on a computer, everyone is going to be searching Google, you know, how to do blah 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 on the computer at work. We should be teaching kids how to, like, Google search this stuff. How to, you know, look on the internet, like what sources are trustworthy and stuff. Not, oh no, you cannot use the internet, you must memorize facts, because technology is rapidly evolving nowadays. Just look at, like, early 2010. Smartphones were just getting started. Like, I think the iPhone came out legit 2 years ago, before 2010. And look at where we are now. The world has changed a lot in 10 years. And you probably are gonna be kind of surprised that, you know, a lot of engineers at Google, at Apple, probably, you know, are still learning about these new technologies. They didn't, you know, once they're out of school, they didn't just stop learning, they continue learning. And they're still constantly learning every day. That's how we're getting cool products. Otherwise, if no one continued learning, our economy would just stagnate and just fail. Because the lifeblood of innovation and creating new stuff is constantly learning. And that brings me to my second issue about school. I'm very lucky that I have, like, a huge internal drive to just learn stuff. Like, ever since I was a kid, I've been taking apart toys. I've been looking at, like, plumbing stuff, electricity, stuff like that, you know, how to do all that, you know, house repairs, DIYing a lot of stuff. Like, I was, what, like 8, 9 years old when I got into that thing. Not many 8, 9-year-olds can say that they, you know, fixed sinks and fixed toilets and stuff. I'm very fortunate that I have this crazy drive for learning stuff. But not all people are like that. Some people kind of, you know, just don't find learning, like, something they would actively do. And if anything, it shouldn't be school that actively tries to encourage kids to learn new things, rather than, like, say, oh, learning is like this terrible crap hole of a mess that, you know, you have to master the stuff or else you are a complete failure. No, learning is definitely not like that, because I failed a lot making YouTube videos. Like, my early videos, if you go back on my channel, I left them all up on my channel. They look like garbage, but I'm proud because I worked my way to improve my videos from that garbage to where they are now. So yeah, I'm just, like, thinking about it. Why are we teaching kids that learning is memorizing facts, reading textbooks over and over, especially on stuff that they aren't 100% interested in or would even care about? Because looking back on it, it's only been, what, slightly over a year since I graduated high school, 2 years since I started. It's kind of like I don't use most of the stuff I learned. You could have the excuse, oh, you're literally a guy playing video games making videos. And you're like, they don't teach you to make videos in school. But yet, so many kids have dreams that they want to be a YouTuber. That they want to be a, like, you know, somebody that vlogs all day long. Like, you look at those polls. They used to be astronaut and stuff, but now it's rapidly shifting to YouTuber / like TikTok or social media person. You know, maybe we have a class where, you know, we teach kids how to edit videos. I mean, they do exist, but it's completely optional. And especially with, like, you know, how kids are, you know, considering getting into college. It's all based on getting a high GPA. And when I look at, you know, the classes, at least in my area, basically anything that was not considered AP or advanced placement, if you're not in the US, or the advanced tier, was, like, let's say a 4.0 GPA or 5.0 in my case. And anything that was AP was a whole point higher. So naturally, everyone wanting good GPA for college is going to take AP classes, regardless if they're, like, not going to care about the information learned from those classes 2-3 years down the line. They would still, you know, do those classes because the benefits in college are just more. So why are we doing that? Because sure, colleges like to see advanced classes, but Why are we pushing kids to take advanced classes out of like something that they would be more interested in? Because like the way I think about it is, so why in the world are we, you know, basically calling all those other classes not as important as the advanced classes? That's kind of just, you know, almost insulting in a way, that anything that isn't, you know, advanced English, advanced math, or like calculus or whatever, biology, chemistry, AP of like those stuff, anything that isn't that, apparently is now considered like less valuable in terms of like GPA, which is basically the lifeblood. Like, you know, if high school was a game, GPA was basically like your points that you're getting. Why are we making basically anything that isn't a core subject kind of feel worthless? I don't understand. Like, you have the programs there, and now you're just like slapping it in the, it's like a slap in the face. You're like, oh, we have these programs, but no, they're gonna tank your GPA because they are not the advanced tier classes. They are the just average on-level standard classes. Like, it's almost like on-level is an insult, because all the advanced classes get the high treatment for GPA. All the, you know, gifted kids like me are gonna take the AP classes and like treat those other like standard classes just like a waste of time, a waste of, you know, it's not gonna give me a 6.0 GPA weighted, which is, you know, yeah, you know what I mean? It just doesn't make sense if you're like strictly considering GPA, which you'd be surprised. A lot of people, especially in the top 10% of high schools, will care solely about GPA when determining what classes they're taking. And, you know, I've just thought about it. We shouldn't be like doing this. Like, this stuff is just so outdated. We should be, you know, letting kids choose what they want to learn without regard as to like this stupid point GPA system, whatever. For what I care about GPA, like, I don't care about my high school GPA anymore. It's just a useless number that people obsess over for 4 years of their life. Like, now I'm just like, you know, I'm making YouTube videos. I pursue it on the side, and I'm perfectly comfortable with it. So that's kind of cool, right? And like, maybe more people should, you know, be able to pursue what they truly love. Because I, you know, like I said, I like to learn stuff outside of school. So I pursued YouTube on my side as like a full hobby, and then it turned into a job. Wouldn't it be cool if school would, you know, be a place where kids can just explore whatever they feel like? Like, if they want to like do some engineering stuff, like if they want to do some 3D printing, 3D modeling, you know, design, music production, literally anything a kid is interested in, and probably doesn't have the equipment at home. Like, how many kids have a full-on music studio at home? Not that many. And what are the chances that a kid is really into music production but doesn't have the equipment? Quite high. So, you know, wouldn't it be a great place if you, like, you know, the schools could provide, you know, equipment? Because there's chances are in the city there's a lot of people interested in music production. And you let them play around with that. Just like, let them explore, guide them through. And speaking of guiding people through stuff, a lot of teachers at, you know, the average high school in the US, they probably shouldn't be teachers. I'm pretty sure a lot of people go out of school like, homework sucks. Why do teachers make us do ridiculously hard crap? And, you know, why do they like kind of have boring lessons? And that raises the question, why do teachers become teachers in the first place? Shouldn't they want to improve the education system? So yeah, there's obviously teachers that are like, I understand how you guys might be feeling because I went through this when I was in school, so I'm not going to give you this much homework, and I'm going to let most of the activities in school, and maybe like they have more fun and engaging, you know, class activities. It makes the, you know, class actually, you know, appealing, more fun to the students, you know what I mean? Like, just stuff beyond like standing in the front with a projector screen or whiteboard lecturing. Because I'm not sure about you, but lecturing is kind of one of the most boring and least engaging, you know, ways to teach things. Sure, you know, maybe like it's the only way to do math, but couldn't you also, you know, have like visualizations, like you explain, you know, stuff, maybe have like a physical demonstration, or at least a, you know, demonstration people can access on their computers or tablets or whatever. Like something they can play around with, because I found, especially for, you know, the stuff I'm interested in, like computers, videos, it's all about hands-on experience. Like, you can lecture someone all day long about computers, but unless you give them a computer, let them take it apart, build it a few times, letting them building the computer, especially for me, like when I was getting into it, like I watched videos on how to do it, I had an idea, but when I really got to like doing it for the first time hands-on experience, in my opinion, is critical. Some people might say, oh, like school is probably a safer place than home for people that don't necessarily have the resources or like the money at home. And I do say that's true, but I'm not saying school is bad right now. I'm saying it's like acceptable maybe, but it can definitely, most definitely be a lot better. And if you think about it, if you teach kids how to, you know, embrace their creativity, how to like make cool stuff, what are the chances they start up a new business and they break out of that cycle of poverty everyone's talking about? Don't we want, you know, a place where people are more successful in life? Don't we want more people to become more successful in life? That starts at school, because where's the first thing you send kids to for 12, 13 years of their life? They go to school. And if schools kind of suck, they're gonna have a crappy outlook on life. And also, not gonna mention the mental health stuff because I probably want to save a dedicated video to that. I already did a video on like how school basically destroyed my mental health. School should be the last place that mental health gets destroyed. Alright, it should be the last place. And yet the fact that, you know, teen mental health, you know, condition rates are ridiculously high right now and getting worse, especially because of the pandemic, that's kind of, you know, a sign that we should probably do something, alright, about the school system. So hopefully you guys, you know, made it through here about like my just rant on the school system. This is just part 1. I might do more in the future. This is my honest opinion on the school system as a guy making YouTube videos in my free time, and someone that a lot of people in my high school, you know, look up to. They're like, wow, you actually, you know, made something for yourself. That's really, really cool. And I wish I could do that. You know, I just hate seeing, you know, the very tool that so many people trust, especially like my parents, are like, school's the most important thing. Focus solely on school. And I know for a fact right now, if I focus solely on school, back in 2016, I would not have my channel. Not saying you shouldn't focus on school, but explore the world around you, please. And maybe one day, you'll find something you love, and you'll make it big like how I did. Thank you for watching. If you guys enjoyed this, like, comment, subscribe. I have to do all that stuff like YouTubers say. Check out more of my videos, I guess, if you're into Roblox and all that stuff. But I'm probably gonna make a few more of these every few weeks now. And make sure you also subscribe to this channel. It's free. You can always, you know, unsub if you choose to. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time.